Hi everyone, this is William from MyCar.Repair, and today we're going to be doing an oil change on this Mercedes 1.7 SLK 200 Roadster. So let's get started. So in order to perform this task, we're just going to need a few very simple tools. First of all, we're going to need an 8mm socket to get under the car and undo the splash shield so we can get to the oil tank. Once we're at the oil tank, then we're going to need a 13mm socket to undo the plug to drain the old oil from the car. And then once we've finally finished that, we're going to need a 27mm socket to get under the bonnet and undo the outer casing for the oil filter. So let's get started and get the bonnet of the car open. For this engine oil change, we'll use our favourite engine oil for this car, which is the Liqui Moly Top Deck 40800 5W30, which is tested and approved by Mercedes for the MB approval, the 229.31 and 229.51. This engine oil is a high-tech synthetic low-friction motor oil. It keeps the engine clean and is stable over a long change interval. Definitely one of the best German-made engine oils that is fit for this engine with an approval by Mercedes-Benz. The car needs 5.5 litres, so we've got 6 litres, a 5 litre here and a 1 litre here. And then after that, we've got our OEM Moly filter, the OX185/5D, together with the O-rings. To make the engine oil run perfect, then we will use a few more products that are not mandatory, but are definitely going to improve the performance of your car. So first of all, we're going to use the Liqui Moly Engine Flush Plus. Now we're going to pour this into the old engine oil. We're going to run the car idle for a few minutes, and that will clean the engine. And then when we remove the oil, it will take out all the gunk and the sludge that was previously in there. Then after that, we're going to use Ceratec, which is like a ceramic coating. We're going to pour in the engine, and it's going to coat the engine and protect it so there's very little or no metal to metal friction. It's going to cause less heat and lower fuel consumption. So let's get started. First of all, I'll put my gloves on for protection, and then we'll get the engine flushing the car. Right, let's go. Okay, so let's quickly check the dipstick. Yeah, and as we can see, there's dirty old oil on that. So we'll put it back in, and we know we're ready for an oil change. The very first thing we're going to do in this procedure is we're going to pour the engine flush into the old oil. So first of all, what we need to do is take off the oil cap, then open up the flush, and then just simply pour this into the old engine oil. The reason we're doing this is going to act like a detergent, and it's going to clean all the old dirty oil, the burnt ash and all the sludge out of the engine, so that when we put the new oil into the car, we're going to be putting the new high quality oil into a clean engine. So let's put this on here, do it up, and now we're going to run the car idle for 10 to 15 minutes and get all the detergent circulating around the engine to clean it. But while we're doing that, we're going to do a check on all the other fluids in the car, the wipers, the air pressure. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so now we're finished, we can turn off the engine and undo the oil filter. So now we're going to change the oil filter. The oil filter on this Mercedes is located at the back. So we're going to get the wrench on and just break it off. There you go, and it's released. And then undo it until you feel all the tension coming off. So I'm about there now. But this way I've got to be careful. There's going to be oil left in the oil filter. So I'm going to pull the old oil filter out really slowly, draining off any old oil. And there you can see our old oil filter. Going to pull it off I'm going to check for the O-rings. Sometimes there's 3, but when I'm looking at this one, I can just see one big O-ring down here, which I'm going to get under and remove like that. So there you go. And then we're going to go into our new Moly oil filter. So there you can see the new one as compared to the old one. And then I should have my O-rings in here, and there you go. So there's the big one that needs replacing. Gonna take that out and get that back onto here. There we go. And then we're just gonna place the oil filter back on, and then we're gonna put it back in. We're gonna do the first bit by hand until we start feeling some tension. There you go. There it is on. And that is your oil filter changed. So now the oil filter's changed, the engine flush has been running around the engine for 10-15 minutes, we're ready to remove the old oil from the engine. Okay, so let's get the car up. Okay, so in order to get to the plug to release the oil, we need to take off this under casing, the splash casing. I think it's just 4 screws that we need to do. It'll be quite simple. And then this will give us access to the part of the engine that we need to get to. Okay, and that's that down. Put this down here. And then this is the vessel that's gonna catch all the old oil when we release it from the car, and the plug is located just here, and this is where we get our 13mm socket in order to take out the old oil. So let's first of all loosen it off with the wrench. There you go, and we'll do the final bit by hand. So there was a little bit of oil leakage when we took it out, so we're going to use the brakes and parts cleaner just to spray on there, just to clean off all the excess oil. And there you go, that's clean. We're going to finish off by just tightening up this. There you go. So that's the plug back in, and all the old oil is drained out the car. And we're going to finish off by putting the splash casing back on. So now the car is lowered back down to the ground, all we're left to do is to add the oil to the car. So we're going to undo the oil cap. We're going to get our Top Tech Liqui Moly Top Tech 4200 5W30. We can get our funnel, and we're just going to slowly pull the oil into the car. What we're going to do after this is we're going to add the Ceratec, but we must take into consideration that the Ceratec is 300ml. So although we need to add 5.5 litres of oil, we actually only need to add 5.2 litres of oil because the Ceratec is 300ml. So we're going to put the 5 litre in first, then we're going to add the Ceratec, and then we're going to top up from the 1 litre bottle. So that's the first 5 litre added. Then we're going to get our Ceratec. Make sure though this is properly shaken, because it does separate itself. Push down and then release. So here's the Ceratec, 300ml. We're going to pour this in. As you can see, it's a ceramic coating that is the colour of ceramic. So that's 5.3 added. So we need to add 200ml from this 1 litre bottle. I'm going to roughly estimate 200ml from here. I think that should be about it. and we're going to check it from the dipstick. Pull the dipstick out and check where we're at. Let's clean that off. Pour it back in. And there's our minimum maximum markers, and it should be on the dot. I think that is on the dot. So there we go. That's all the old oil taken out, the new oil in, including the Ceratec, and we're good to go. Just left to do, put the cap back on, make sure it's on nice and tight, clean off any oil that we might have spilled. So as you can see, all the emergency lights are on, and we now need to reset the computer. So we're going to turn it off. We're then going to turn it back on again. It says consult the workshop. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to hit these two buttons. Go to the bottom one. I'm going to go to a full service. Confirm the full service. Was the service carried out? Yes. Cannot be undone. Confirm. And that's our oil change finished. I hope you enjoyed our video. If you have any questions or any comments, contact us. If you need any more information about oil changes or any work doing to your car, then please get in contact, and thanks for watching our video.